Stitch and Lindy. I am doing spaghetti squash for dinner tonight, but I wanted to show a fast way to do a 30-minute meal. So a lot of people will do their spaghetti squash. So I just have a small spaghetti squash. A lot of people will cut their spaghetti squash in half, take the seeds out and bake it in the oven. You can do that, it works great. You have to bake it for roughly 35 to 45 minutes depending on your oven. But what I do instead is I just take a fork and I pierce holes down the sides. So on all the way around, just in a ring all the way around. Actually bend it down so you can see what I'm doing here. Sorry, get you guys closer. So I'm just piercing holes all the way around in a straight line. Just in one ring all the way around. And this just gives it kind of a vent hole. And what I'm doing instead of, so it's just in a straight line all the way down. Instead of putting it in the oven for 45 minutes, I'm putting it in the microwave. A lot of people say, oh, that's awful in the microwave. A lot of people don't like the microwave. If you don't use the oven, sorry, this camera keeps falling. But it's so much quicker. You pop it in the oven in 5-minute increments. So I'm gonna put it in the oven for the first 5 minutes. And after the first 5 minutes, what you do is you just feel for the texture. It will be a little soft on the one side. And you'll just flip it over and then do it for another 5 minutes. So I'm gonna put this on for 5. And what I have is extra lean ground chicken browning. And I'm just gonna add, just make your spaghetti sauce like you would normally. So, whatever vegetables you want to add in, I am adding. I have half a white onion. I got 5 or 6 mushrooms that I've just cut into 4s, and then half of a red pepper. So I'm just going to throw those into the frying pan and just soften those. So just make your regular spaghetti sauce. And you can add any vegetables that you want, whatever you prefer. I mean, if you just wanted a meat sauce, you can do that as well. I'm using extra lean ground chicken. You can use turkey. If you are using ground beef, just make sure that you're accounting for your points with the ground beef, because the beef does have points, but the extra lean ground chicken and extra lean ground turkey does not. They are 0 points. Another thing I wanted to mention, there's quite a few people that I've seen are shopping on a budget. So I wanted to mention the packs of the pounds of extra lean ground chicken are usually around, I don't know, give or take $5 or $6, sometimes $7 for the pound. I have found the extra lean ground chicken in the rolls. Some people don't like it, but if you're on a budget, I don't mind them. I have found them, if anybody's local to me, in the Oshawa, the big Walmart. I can't remember where that one is. I think it's Stevenson. Austin, where's the big Walmart in Oshawa? Harmony and Taunton. Harmony and Taunton, the huge Walmart. It's massive, this Walmart. They have the tubes of the extra lean ground chicken. So you can get it, I'm pretty sure it's 4 in a pack for $10. So 4 pounds you're getting. So if anybody's looking for that, check your Walmart. My Walmart in Ajax does not carry it. That Walmart's the first one that I've ever seen it at. But it's in the freezer section's in the middle, and it's a big bag, and it's got the tubes of them. So there's 4 in it for $10. So it's a good savings. I am adding to this, once my veggies just cook down a bit, I always grab this No Name tomato sauce. I count this as 0 points. There is 3 grams of sugar, but on the Connect app, and this is always something that I bring up, if you scan tomato sauce, it comes up with points because it has nutritional value. But it is like another 0 point item. If you do look in the 0 point list, it does list tomato sauce canned up to half a cup is 0 points. So I count this is the lowest. Even if I scan this, it comes up as 1 point. So I count this tomato sauce as 0 points because it's the lowest I can find, and it's listed in the 0 point items as 0. So that is the one that I always use. And they're always like, I think, I don't know, $1 each, or if you buy 2 or more, they're $1. So No Name, I always grab the No Name. And again, you can add any vegetables you want. If you just want it meat, if you just want even just regular tomato sauce, you could do that as well. The spaghetti squash, if anyone hasn't had spaghetti squash yet, you just kind of grate it off the actual inside of the peel, and it comes out just like spaghetti noodles. So it's similar to the zucchini noodles because it is a vegetable. And again, this is 0 points for this entire meal because the spaghetti squash is 0. Your tomato sauce is 0 because, again, it's up to half a cup, which you would never use more than that for spaghetti sauce on your own serving. As long as you're using extra lean ground chicken or extra lean ground turkey, it's 0, and your veggies are 0. So a 0 point dinner. So if you are adding cheese, just make sure that you are accounting for that. I have also, another thing is, I always mention this, is if you are using actual cheese, grate it and weigh it because it goes a long way. To top off a bowl of spaghetti, I probably wouldn't even use 10 grams of grated cheese. So make sure you're grating it and weighing it. Another thing is a lot of people like Parmesan cheese. My husband loves Parmesan cheese. I have switched now, instead of using Parmesan cheese, which is, the points are so high for Parmesan cheese. Parmesan and Herb Clubhouse seasoning mix, I use this instead of Parmesan cheese, and it's 0 points. So find something that you can use in lieu of stuff. Our spaghetti squash, the first 5 minutes is done. So I'm going to take it out and show you. Be careful because this is a vegetable, it's steaming, so it's very hot. So I just want to show you what it looks like after the first 5 minutes. So it is, you can see some condensation coming off of it. Let me see if I can pick it up. A little bit, not much. So you just want to feel it. Some sides will be softer than the others, so this isn't at all. So I'm going to put this back in, just turn it over and put it back in for another 5 minutes. Usually about 15 minutes is the max that I've gone, and that cooks it all the way through. So 10 minutes could be fine with this one because it is a smaller squash. So just depending on your microwave and also how the size of your spaghetti squash, how long you'll have to cook it. So I am just going to add to this meat, I'm just going to add pepper and some garlic powder. If you season your actual meat with anything different, by all means just use whatever seasonings you like. I always only season my meat with pepper and garlic powder. And again, I don't use any salt when I'm cooking. We're just cooking these down until your vegetables are softened. The onions are pretty much done. It's just the peppers and the mushrooms you just want to watch. I'm sure everybody has heard the news today about Luke Perry. He was my heartthrob. It's awful. I wanted to share something with you guys. A couple years ago, my sister is a New Kids on the Block fanatic, and I found the dolls of New Kids on the Block for her. So the next year, she got me a Luke Perry doll. My daughter was playing with this with her Barbies, but I have taken him back now. She doesn't appreciate Dylan McKay. She needs to learn it. So I'm hoping to get the original 90210 shows so she can watch them and learn all about them. You can hear the steam coming off of this. So they will. There is a lot of moisture that comes out of it because the spaghetti squash it has a lot of moisture in it because it is a vegetable. So if it does start squirting or you can hear it like kind of sizzling out, just check on it if you need to. But it should be fine. Those veggies are just about done. So the Clubhouse seasonings that I'm using for this, I'm going to use Italian seasoning, which I just add to my spaghetti sauce, especially with this sauce being so plain. I try to add some more seasonings to it, and then I also add this right into the sauce just to give it a bit more seasoning and a little bit more of a cheese taste. So I'll add that right to the sauce as well. I know a lot of people will say, why are you adding this to it? But I add a teaspoon of sugar, just regular white granulated sugar. If there's another sweetener that you would prefer to add, if you don't mind the tomato, by all means you don't need to. I add a teaspoon of sugar. I just always have, because it breaks the acidity of the tomato sauce, especially when you're using a plain tomato sauce. This only has 3 grams of sugar in it, so it's not a lot, so I find it is more acidity. So you just want to add a little bit just to break that, but again, you don't have to. And because it's such a small amount, and you will get, I always average this at about 4 portions, between 4 and 6, but I would say 4 portions would be good. So dividing a teaspoon into 4 portions, it comes up as 0 anyways, so it's not something that you really have to worry about. And this is just about done for the second 5 minutes. We'll see how it is. It should be done because it's quite a small pepper, or a small squash, sorry. And these veggies are just about cooked, so I'm going to add my tomato sauce. And I always just rinse off some of the sauce in the can, and it just gives it a bit more liquid into the pan. So our squash is done now, so that's 10 minutes that has been in the microwave. Again, if you prefer not to use the microwave, you don't have to. You can use the oven. Just bake it at 350 for 35 to 45 minutes, depending on how, what texture you want your squash to be at. I just find the microwave does it so fast, and it's so much easier, especially on a busy weeknight. So yeah, this is really hot. And you got to be careful because the squash rolls around too. So this is soft now. Yeah, this is done. Look at the steam going off of it. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, it's soft to the touch on both sides. So that is done. So I'm just gonna let that cool a little bit. And then what you'll do is you want to cut off the actual top and you cut it in half. So once that's cooled down a bit, I'll cut it and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit more spices into my sauce. So I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of sugar. Again, like I said, you do not need to add this if the acidity doesn't bother you, or if you just prefer not. Or you can add a sweetener if you wanted to. I've seen brown sugar Splenda added. I've seen regular Splenda added, Truvia, or just nothing. So, and whatever seasonings you want. That's the Clubhouse Italian, and I'm just adding the Parmesan and herb. And a bit more garlic powder and pepper. Okay, so you just want to mix that in, and then you're just going to let this simmer for a couple of minutes, just to make sure everything kind of mingles together. Where's my big knife? Okay. Lost my large knife. There it is. This squash should be cooled down enough. Okay, so you're just going to cut still is a bit hot. And it's so easy to cut through it because it's so soft now that it's cooked for 10 minutes. So again, this was just 10 minutes. If you have a little bit of a bigger squash, you might need 15, but 10 should be good. Look at all that steam coming out. And then you're just going to want to cut this in half. Now you can serve this in the actual squash, or you can take it out and just divide it individually. That's what I'm going to do because these are smaller. And you just want to scoop out all of the seeds inside. Sure you guys can see okay here. Oh. There we go. So you're just going to take the seeds out. Don't take too much because, I mean, it does blend into the actual spaghetti squash. So just take what you can. It's kind of a bit darker in color. Throw that in the compost. So as you can see, this is such a quick meal, especially through the week when you're busy, have activities, just want something really quick. Under 30-minute meal. It's so fast, so simple. And I mean, like I said, you can use these as your serving dishes if you wanted to. So So far we've tried the zucchini noodles and the spaghetti squash. I kind of think I like the zucchini noodles better, but this was the first one that we tried, and we love these ones. If you've tried a different vegetable for spaghetti noodles, let me know what you've tried. I was thinking I might try carrots, but I don't know how that would be. All right, so our spaghetti squash just needs to be pulled. And our sauce is ready now. Okay, and I will show you how you pull it. Get that out of the way. So, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take this. You see, okay? It comes right from the shell, like it's almost right, coming right off of it. Again, if you wanted to serve it in this, you can. Okay, so you're just gonna do this for both pieces, and you could get 4 servings out of this. So out of just one, you could get 2 servings out of it. And again, this is 0 points because everything's 0. It's all veggies. As long as you use your extra lean ground chicken and extra lean ground turkey, you're 0 points. So depending on how much you want on there. Okay. Lift you guys back up. Sorry, there's a lot of movement of this camera in this video. And you don't need a lot of sauce with this because it is watery with the actual zucchini squash. It does have a lot of water in it. It does have a lot of liquid in it. If you wanted to, I know I've seen a lot of people with the zucchini noodles, they have kind of patted it with a paper towel just to get more moisture out of it, but that's totally up to you. But there we go. And under a half an hour. So under 30 minutes for a 0 point meal. So spaghetti squash with extra lean ground chicken and your bell peppers, mushrooms, and onions. If you do like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have tried this recipe, or if you have done it a different way, let me know. And what other noodles do you guys use? What else are you guys using? We've tried so far the zucchini noodles and the spaghetti squash. So let me know if there's any other noodles that you've tried that you really like. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you wanted to be alerted of any new videos posting, tap the bell button. As always, I have my handle at the bottom for on Connect. If you wanted to follow me, my handle is @StitchAndLindy. And on Facebook, my group is Stitch and Lindy's Weight Loss Journey. Thank you for watching.